Coming up on tonight's show, we're going to discuss a potential stadium change for West Ham United. Will it for you forever be the London Stadium now, or a switch to maybe Allianz or Stage Front as a more sponsored and branded stadium name? Would you get on board with that? The news today came out that West Ham have sold out 6,000 tickets for Liverpool away 5 days before Christmas in the Carabao Cup quarter-final. We're going to discuss that, as well as the international hammers and what our players are getting up to on this international break. All of that and more is coming up next right here on West Ham Unofficial. Very good evening to you and welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. Thank you very much for joining me on this Thursday night. We're in the international break. There's no football. Everyone's a little bit about things. But I'm going to round up some of the latest West Ham news for you and have a little discussion about it, if you please. So thank you very much indeed, everybody, for joining me. I've got a drink. Well, I'm finishing off a drink. I hope you have one too, and get involved in the comment section with thoughts, topics, and anything else in between. I'm going to start with the news that broke today about a potential stadium name change for West Ham. Now, this is coming from, or this one, what I'm about to read is coming from Sean Whetstone, West Ham Football on Twitter, and he sums up the situation, I think, quite nicely. So, a host of companies are currently bidding for the stadium rights for the London, or the naming rights for the London Stadium. It was first reported by Sport Business. The front runners have now emerged as Allianz, who are the German financial services provider, and the American-based ticketing firm Stage Front. Now, they're the two front runners currently battling it out to earn the naming rights for the London Stadium. Allianz already have a host of naming rights. They host, or their name is branded on the front of Bayern Munich, Juventus, and Nice's stadium, and they are currently reportedly looking for a Premier League club to lob their name all over. Stage Front, meanwhile, has the naming rights for Spanish side Espanyol and their stadium. West Ham have the right to veto if they think that the sponsorship for the stadium could harm the brand West Ham, and will share any sponsorship over what will be over £4 million a year. So look, currently it's London Stadium, it's the Olympic Park, the Bowl, whatever you want to call it. I think that, there'll always be the original names for it. But I thought it was probably inevitable that we dragged in somebody who's going to pay a lot of money to lob their name on the front of the stadium. Allianz Arena is very well known in Europe. They've got the Allianz Stadium and the Allianz Riviera. So maybe the Allianz Park would be an obvious one. Would you be up for that, or would you prefer to just call it London Stadium? I mean, there's a lot of fans that want to eradicate London out of the brand that is West Ham. So that's one way of doing it. And there's been I suppose it's not a dispute, but it's been the ongoing sort of saga about naming rights, because there's been issues, of course, because we don't own the stadium, do we? We have a 99-year lease of it, to my understanding, so we don't own it. It all goes through the LLDC, I think, and there's those things. There's different avenues to go through to get there, and of course, the club would like to see some more money coming in as a business. Of course, they would, and anything over £4 million, I think, is split 50-50. The first £4 million of the sponsorship will go to the LLDC and the council, and anything after that, I think it's split between the council again and West Ham to keep. So really, from a business point of view, this is something that West Ham as a business might be wanting to push on. For us fans, would it make a lot of difference? Well, it would if they lob their name all over the front of the stadium as we're walking up there every week. But really, is there going to be too much of a difference? I don't know. Put it in to the comments section. Sharky, thank you very much indeed for joining us. A member of the channel for 22 months. Thank you very much, mate. A stadium sponsor, first I've heard about it. Yeah, this sort of arose on the airwaves today, and there's been plenty of debate about it. I mean, this would never have happened at Upton Park, would it? Because it was Upton Park, but it's just we've been sort of given the name London Stadium, and we've got used to it to an extent. But there's a few people that don't like that, and maybe want Allianz Park or Stage Front or something. But look, it's going to bring some more money into the club. club, if the sponsorship deal reaches over £4 million a year, we will get some dough out of it. Will it be a lot? I don't know. I'm not a businessman at this current moment in time, so that'll be something to evaluate. And if it's a good deal for us, then do it, as long as it's not too much of an ugly name or ridiculous name. I think we'll all call it the London Stadium until there's been a serious sort of amount of time that it's been different. It'll always be the London Stadium. It's like back in the day, them renaming Upton Park. It'll always be Upton Park to us. So I know London Stadium is different, but I think we'll all still call it the London Stadium. And loads of clubs have it. The Emirates Stadium at Arsenal, it's called the Emirates because it's lobbed on the front of their shirt and all the rest of it. So whatever happens, evening to you, Sharky. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Do West Ham get any money out of it? It's not just the stadium, it's the whole Olympic part. So yeah, any money that comes in over £4 million, West Ham will get half of it, I think is the agreement with the London District Council, whoever it is. So there won't be a lot, but yeah, it is what it is. Trudge, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Sounds small compared to other clubs. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much Emirates pay Arsenal to be called the Emirates Stadium every year. I'd imagine it's significantly more than £4 million a year, but hey ho, it is what it is. So what's going to happen? Nothing's going to happen really in the short term right here and right now, because there's no agreement in place, because you've got Allianz and Stage Front who are fighting it out currently. So it's not going to be something that's going to happen just like that. I'm sure there's a long and rigorous process that it's all got to go through. But one day down the line, the stadium could be called officially something different, and whether fans will like it, there's not too much we'll be able to do about it, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's an interesting news point that's come out today. There's been different thoughts about it all over social media, and it is what it is. Of course, Mr. Will Still was at the game the other day. He put a picture on Instagram, and that, of course, proposed would he potentially become West Ham manager one day, and he's been flirting with West Ham on on social media. Somebody's photoshopped a West Ham coat onto him and put it on, and he's sort of put the eyes emoji and all the rest of it. The geezer's a West Ham fan who was in the press box for the Nottingham Forest game. So yeah, that's one interesting thing. And as well, the Liverpool away allocation has been sold to most West Ham fans' amazement, to be honest with you, at 9 points, which is huge, and a really big shift from the West Ham fans. So 6,000 away tickets. It would be a really good achievement, but considering 5 days before Christmas, I mean, it's a push, isn't it? With no trains back, it'd have to be an overnight job, or a horrible getting back at early hours of the morning job, which we're going to do, which is going to be all fun and games. But yeah, it's a great shift from the West Ham fans to sell them out. Many thought it would go all the way down to season ticket holders and members, and it didn't. It sold out on 9 points, and a fantastic effort. And yeah, we'll make sure that that away end is rocking. That is for sure. Love a good cup allocation. We didn't manage to sell out Man United away last year. I think we took most of it, but not all of the tickets. But so it's fantastic. We've sold every ticket we've been given. I'd expect maybe West Ham to just maybe send an email to Liverpool tomorrow, ask if we can have a few more, because I think we'll sell them 100%. Because you've still got all those people that are on 9 points and below, who could or wanted to get a ticket. So yeah, we may ask for some more. Will we get any? Probably not. But if you don't ask, you don't get. As I put on Twitter earlier, you never know. We might get some more to back the boys a little bit further. Always love the international break. Of course we do, don't we? There's lots to talk about. In terms of the international break, we'll move on to that. So 12 West Ham United players have been called up for international duty. Well, there's 11, and then there's 16-year-old Gabriel Caliste, who I hadn't heard of, to be honest with you, before I read this article today. With 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying getting underway, the nations the CONCACAF Nations League approaching its conclusion in North and Central America, which of course involves Mohamed Kudus, who was called up: Bowen, Soufal, Soucek, Areola, Mavropanos, Callum Marshall, Michael Forbes, Edson Alvarez, Mikel Antonio, Naif Agard, Mohamed Kudus, and 16-year-old Gabriel Caliste, who turned 17 on Saturday. So the round of games. So Mohamed Kudus is playing tomorrow, Friday the 17th, as is Marshall, Mavropanos, Panos. Of course, Bowen plays for England tomorrow night on Friday at Wembley against Malta. Let's just pray none of these players get injured, because that would be dreadful, wouldn't it? I mean, imagine Jared Bowen pulling a hamstring tomorrow for England. There would be absolute meltdown in the West Ham fan base. So let's hope we can. We've had a bit of luck with international breaks. We haven't picked up any major injuries this season so far, because we've let a lot of players go out. And now I know we can't stop players going out, but with the added quality we've added to this squad, and with the growing international prowess that we have, I remember days not in the distant past where we had about 2 or 3 players going off on international duty. Now most of them are going off, so I think that shows the players that we've got there, and let's just hope none of them get drastically injured and can come back fully fit, ready for an important game up at Turf Moor on the 25th of November. Look, I'm glad this is the last international break till March, because they get on my nerves, to be honest with you. It seems like we've had so many already at the start of this season. They're annoying, but it's the way it is. Unfortunately, they've got to play these games at some point. But it is what it is. Ken says, can't see us getting any more tickets. I think we already sold the bottom tier, but you never know. Exactly. Yeah, we've got the whole bottom tier. I'm not sure about the top tier of that stand, whether it's going to be open in time or not. But yeah, if that's the case, I can't imagine they're going to give us any more blocks, to be honest with you, in a different stand. That's just not going to happen. But if you don't ask, you do not get, at least Liverpool kept the ticket prices down. Exactly. Not like United, who charged, was it 40 something quid last season in the FA Cup. So fair play to Liverpool for that. There was about 15 different categories of tiers of tickets you could buy. Nobody had a clue what any of them meant, but we all got on. So it was all fun and games in the end. Bowen to bag a hat-trick. Will he start? I don't know. He started one of the games in the last international break, didn't he? But listen, against Malta, will he experiment? Southgate, I don't know. I don't really want to try and go into his mind, because God knows what goes on in Gareth Southgate's mind. Picking Jordan Henderson and I'll get there in the end. Picking Jordan Henderson and Calvin Phillips as 2 midfield options. So God knows what's going on in his head. But will Bowen play? I don't think he'll start, but he may get on in a couple of the games. I'd rather he sat on the bench, didn't play a minute, and stayed injury free, to be honest with you, because that's the selfish club over country football fan that I am, and I think most people would probably echo my thoughts on that one. Might get to see, we're going to see the night atmosphere at Liverpool. We're going to see what the famous atmosphere is about. We keep being told, 3 o'clock games, it's all good, but yeah, we've never seen a proper atmosphere at Liverpool. We've been, how many times we've been? 3 times. So maybe at night we might see a different story at Anfield. But yeah, we will see. Top tier opens next year. That's unfortunate. We're going. I think I read somewhere actually. It reopens in the new year, and we're going on the 20th of December. Typical. But we'll see the new facilities, which will be nice in the new stand, and yeah, should be a good night out in the pool, and hopefully West Ham can get over the line and get to a 2-legged semi-final. Won't that be exciting for the Carabao Cup? But yeah, that's not for just over a month, so we can put that to the side for the moment and focus eventually, when we get to it, on Burnley, Crystal Palace, Tottenham away, brilliant, Fulham and Wolves and Manchester United in the lead up to Christmas, and keep solidifying our spot in that top half of the table. I mean, if we can be somewhere around where we are now at Christmas, I'll be loving life. I think that'll be absolutely brilliant. And I think what Moyes' target will be, is getting through first place in Europe. I think a checklist that Moyes might be drawing up in this international break is finish top of the group in Europe, maintain a similar position in the league, and beat Liverpool if we can to go through to a semi-final. That will look brilliant on paper, won't it? But it's just about getting the wins, because the way we're playing, if we lose, it's not good. It's painful. It's painful to watch. So look, hopefully my one of my sole and main concerns about this side is that goals are only coming from three areas: Bowen, Kudus, and set pieces. I think if we can share the goals out a bit more, get a couple of midfielders, maybe Paqueta getting him on the score sheet a little bit more often, because it seems like at the moment Bowen and Kudus are the two players that seem to be pushing us along with goals. I mean, Bowen has been fantastic, and there is going to be a time where he isn't going to score every week like he is at the moment. He scored 8 goals in 12 games so far this season. He broke the record for 6, at the start of the season, 6 goals in consecutive away matches, something ridiculous like that. But there is going to be a time where Bowen's goals are going to dry up, because he's not going to, Bowen's not going to be a player that's going to be up there with Salah and Haaland at the end of the season for the Golden Boot. He's just not going to be there. But the way he's going at the moment, the longer he can continue, and hopefully this international break doesn't stall his sort of form that he's on, because as I said, he seems to be scoring every week at the moment, which is a huge positive for West Ham, and it will probably encourage David Moyes playing him more centrally, which some fans don't agree with. But look, Moyes has got some time to think about his options. Certainly tactically in the attacking element of it. Is he going to continue and persist with Bowen through the middle? Is he going to try Kudus there? Is he going to bring Antonio back in? There's plenty of decisions Moyes has got to make, and hopefully he's got a fully fit squad to choose from and select from, ready for Turf Moor on the 25th, where we're going to play, well, a different Burnley side to what we've ever played before, aren't we? An expansive Vincent Kompany, who hasn't won at home in the Premier League all season so far, and will nearly be in December when we play them. So we all know what's going to happen there, don't we? West Ham are going to turn up and gift them 3 points. Hopefully not. But look, the main news that is... Oh, here he is. I spoke to you about half an hour ago. I've done an opposition preview with Dan from Turf Moor House TV to get an insight onto... into Burnley. Sean, you'll be interested. You'll watch it, Sean, because we like to try and dissect Burnley every week on the Roundup show. And there's some interesting bits that me and Dan discuss through. So that will come out a little bit closer to the time, ready for the Burnley game. A fully fit squad. What's that? Well, your players fit and ready to go, Sean. So you've got to see. You don't know what that is, do you? You've got about 15 players out, suspended, injured, and just not there. Oh, well, you'll be all right, Sean. Don't worry. Big Ange will keep playing. We'll keep playing a midfield line of 7 and really going for it. It'll be all right. Famous European atmosphere, exactly. Exactly. We've never seen it, have we? Liverpool, most overrated atmosphere in the country. I went to a night game last year. Of course, we played them in the night game last year, didn't we? Yeah, when Bowen missed that penalty and we lost, was it 2-1 or 2-0 or something like that? Yeah, it's all a myth, really, isn't it? It's all a myth, that is for sure. But the main news currently surrounding the West Ham world at the moment is there going to be a stadium change, Allianz Park, Allianz Arena, whatever it's going to be. West Ham have sold out Liverpool away, superb achievement. Great shift from West Ham fans, and the international Hammers. We'll have another little look at it. So, of course, Soufal and Souček are playing for the Czech Republic. So, of course, I'm sure we'll all have a quarter of an eye on England versus Malta tomorrow night. Whether I'll persist myself to watch through it, I'm not convinced, to be honest with you. Depends how it starts. And then, I mean, Mikel Antonio's got to fly halfway around the world to play Canada for Jamaica in Kingston, wherever that is, on Saturday. And then Bowen's playing again on Monday away at North Macedonia, which is brilliant, isn't it? At least it's not a friendly, that's a qualifying game, so it's got half an ounce of importance on it, even though we're already through. Kudus is playing for Ghana against Comoros on Tuesday, the 21st of November. Gerd for Morocco, Mavropanos for Greece. So we've got plenty of players that are being involved in international duty, and a dream that Sean, as a Spurs fan, would want as a fully fit squad. Hopefully we can get back to reality and normal Premier League action. So if there's some more West Ham news that arises, I'm sure I'll update you on it. But currently it's been a pretty slow news week so far, and everybody seems pretty fed up at the international break and watching Jared Bowen stand there with Declan Rice on England duty. But we beat him, didn't we? So it was all right. Thank you very much indeed. We'll start building up to the Burnley game a few days before, but until then, some West Ham news videos will arise, and you never know what might come. So hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever we come live, or I upload a video onto the channel. But until then, come on, you Irons, and I will see you soon right here on West Ham Unofficial. Keep the faith if you can. Keep your sanity if you can with no Premier League football. I mean, it's been brilliant in the last couple of weeks. We've seen some proper decent games of football. Two of them have weirdly involved Chelsea, which has concerned me, to be honest with you. We've seen some vintage Premier League football at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against Chelsea, and at the Bridge against Man City. So yeah, roll on Peter Drury back on the box, roll on Premier League football, get this international break crap done, and we can get back to business. Would you like the stadium name to change? Are you excited to watch Jared Bowen tomorrow night? I'm guessing probably both of those answers are no, but we'll do it anyway, won't we? Yeah. Until the next time, thank you very much, and we will see you soon. From me, Jake, bye-bye.